Hi, I'm Isata Kanneh-Mason and I'm a pianist. Yeah, music's been a part of my life for as long as I can remember. I always listened to music. I think I started having recorder lessons when I was maybe about 3, and then I started the piano when I was about 5 or 6. But my parents said I used to sing, when I was just in my crib or something. So I can't remember a time without music. I would say it wasn't a conscious decision choosing the instrument that was mine, because you choose it when you're a child, and so you just naturally gravitate towards a certain instrument. You feel pulled to it. I mean, I played the piano and the violin and the viola, but I just loved the piano more, felt more natural, so I think it was just something that happened. Growing up in a family where all my siblings were musicians meant that practice was never a lonely thing, which made it more motivating, because I think it's hard if you have to go off into a room by yourself and the rest of your family's doing other things. And I think practicing and hearing the sounds of everyone else practicing meant that there's always that support system. And it also meant that everyone around you understands what you're doing, so it never feels lonely. I think I like such a range of repertoire. I can't say the only thing all the composers have in common is that they're composers. I think that's the amazing thing about classical music. It spans hundreds of years and there's such a range, and it's never just one thing. And so I love to be able to explore all these different dimensions. I think classical music is music like any other music. We as a civilization have always needed music. We will always need music, and music connects across barriers and language and race, and so I think it's very important, and classical music is no different. And I think sometimes there can be marketing problems with classical music, in the sense that certain people think it's not for them, but that's not to do with the music itself, that's more to do with the barriers that surround the classical music world. I mean, I didn't have those barriers because I grew up in a family where we always had classical music, so I wasn't even aware of them until I was much older. And so then if I come across people who think that way, I try and play classical music to them. I go into schools with my family and meet young people, because we want them to have the same experience that we had. I think it's good to play repertoire that's not often played. I love playing Clara Schumann because I love her music, and the same with all of these underplayed composers. And I think there's no reason for these composers to be underplayed other than historical barriers. So it's always a joy to discover, music by underplayed composers that's wonderful, and then perform it now and have people enjoy it.